Right guys, I am going to share a tip I learned through Google and sheer desperation on how to care for my pepper plants. So I have the beloved candy cane pepper, which is amazing. If you haven't tried it, seriously highly recommend. They're super fun as well. The problem I was having was that my peppers weren't fully developing and then just falling off. There was no real explanation that I could see with the naked eye. They just kept falling off. So out of sheer desperation and trying not to lose any of the plants, I did a quick Google and it turns out peppers actually require calcium. Now this is something I didn't know at all. I'm still very much a novice gardener, if you haven't realized by now, but I am so glad I found this tip and just in time. So what I ended up doing was actually just getting some Yates Blood and Bone from Bunnings, and it says here that it's got 90% pure blood and bone fertilizer and it contains potash. Goodness knows what that is, but it has got calcium as bone and calcium as superphosphate. So it's the calcium that I was looking for, and I was fairly generous because I had not actually fed my pepper plants with anything other than sea salt, which is just a bit of a seaweed solution, very high in nitrogen. So I sprinkled some on, and I've actually done it twice, obviously quite far apart, and look at these beautiful peppers that have come back up. I honestly thought I was going to lose this plant. So these are my candy canes, and as you can tell they have beautiful stripes, hence the name. Now it's not the biggest plant, but there are quite a few peppers on there and we are going to harvest some of them today. I might as well just share with you the peppers sitting next to them. They're doing very, very well, especially since I've added this blood and bone, but I bought the wrong variety, so they are really, really small, and I'll harvest some of the orange ones that I can currently see and I'll show you what I mean. Now some of these aren't massive, so they should be about 5 centimeters wide, about 5 by 5. So these aren't very big, but I am going to pick them regardless because I would like the plant to put its energy back into the few little buds that I can see that are trying to still grow. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the whole lot. You also want to cut them with a bit of shears and not pull or break them off, because you don't want to damage the plant and you don't want to accidentally damage the stem either by breaking it off. So another way to know when your pepper is ready is it starts changing color and it starts actually losing those candy cane stripes and becoming one solid color. Now I'm not particularly fussed that they're still green. I'm not going to wait for them to go red. You can eat them at either stage, but this is not terrible. Let me show you the miniature peppers that I have accidentally grown. I mean, they're still delicious and they still serve us well, but obviously I'm after those big giant ones, which I currently have as seedlings at the moment. But let's take a look at what we can harvest today. So with these guys, because they're so small, I do like to wait until they're actually of color, just to give them as much chance as possible to grow and obviously sweeten up, because this is about as big as they get, which is not very big. Okay, so I've just got 2 little ones. I think that's going to be it with the harvesting for today. But the last thing I'd like to do is just check the pH level of the soil. I got this really awesome little 3-way meter from Bunnings, and it does the moisture, light and pH, which is pretty awesome. So we've had some rain today, so I know the moisture is going to be pretty wet, so I'm probably not going to even water today. So I'm just going to switch it over to pH, and you're looking for about 6.5, between 6.5 and 7 for a reading. So I'm just going to stick it in and just see where we're sitting. So we're actually a little high on the alkalinity. It's not terrible. As I said, the plant's doing really, really well. So it is a little high. It's a bit closer to 8 than it is 7. And one of the best ways to make the soil a bit more acidic is to add in some manure. I don't have that on my hand today, so I'll be making a note to get that over the weekend. I unfortunately don't have fresh, so it'll be store-bought, I'm afraid, but that's okay because Bunnings have a really wide variety of different types that we can add. So yeah, I think the last thing I want to show you guys is when one of the candy cane peppers was eaten by something, I just kind of broke it open and buried it in the soil, and you know, as we expect, it shot up a whole lot of seedlings, and I've managed to save the strongest, so we have quite a few in the bed. And they're pretty cool because even their leaves are variegated. So we should be having an abundance of peppers soon. Right, I hope that you guys found this little tip helpful. It definitely saved my bacon when it came to my pepper plants, and it will be something I'll be adding in the future and just keeping an eye on as well. And I highly recommend getting one of these. I think, I don't stand corrected, but I don't even think it cost me $20. I think it was either 13 or 17, I can't remember offhand, but I'll put the link in the description for you. And honestly, it has been fantastic just to keep an eye on where my soil is sitting. Alright guys, I think I'm going to leave you there for today, and yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and I really hope you are enjoying our videos and learning with me as I learn in the garden.